I've been a Democrat for 70-something years. And what I've seen tonight of the Democrat Party, I am changing my mind. I mean, I'll probably still be a Democrat. But far as I'm electing for a goddamn Democrat, never again.
I am a Democrat as well, but no longer will I vote Democrat.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today I bring you a recap of President Trump's 2020 State of the Union address. Now, I thought this was an excellent speech. It was not a short one. It probably was about an hour and 15, close to an hour and a half, but it was an excellent speech. He hit on all the points I thought he should have hit on, and a lot of the points, quite frankly, were things at the left that liberal Democrats would champion. He was talking about paid family leave, possibly being available nationwide, investing money into historically black colleges, permanently funding them, lowering the cost of prescription drug prices, education for little kids, black kids that need it. So a lot of the things that he was talking about were liberal ideals, or at least I thought they were. And the reason why I said I thought they were is because when he would say certain things like that, the left would not get up and clap. You know, the speech was nonpartisan, but the left made it very partisan. First of all, we'll talk about that, and then we get into the real meat and potatoes here. The people that were there at the speech, the left had on all white again. It's like, what's going on with the left and they're all white? Are we going back to the 1924 Democratic National Convention, aka the Klan bake? Did they leave their hoods in the hotel room when the car was really going on? I mean, the choice of all white seems to be kind of tone deaf to your history, but I digress. The point is that the left were kind of just in protest by being there. Some of the left were not there. I think AOC and Maxine Waters, Al Green from Texas, a lot of these guys and girls were not there, but nobody really cares because it was not about left versus right. It was about the people. Now, I guess one more elephant in the room would be Nancy Pelosi. She tore up Trump's speech at the end of the speech. Just being petty. I mean, stupid stuff. She gave an explanation talking about, well, it was the right thing to do, something like that. It didn't make any sense, really. It was just her being petty, just doing something to try and protest against the president. Now, some are going to say, well, Trump refused to shake her hand at the very beginning. I think that he didn't see her, because what he was doing, I'll place a video on the screen before you, was giving the transcripts of the speech to Nancy Pelosi and Mike Pence. He gave it to Mike Pence first. He did not shake his hand. Then he gave it to Pelosi. And then right when he gave it to her, he turns his head and is going the other direction. He's not looking for a handshake because he did not shake Mike Pence's hand. You see what I'm saying? So he probably just did not see her. Even if he did see her, that's not the same thing as tearing up the speech live on camera out of spite. Okay, but we'll move on. Let's get to the speech. This was great. He covered everything I wanted him to cover. He was talking about how the economy is very strong, how African-American unemployment is the lowest in history, Hispanic unemployment is very low, American unemployment is very low. The left didn't like that too much. I don't really understand why they wouldn't clap for that, but we'll move on. He was talking about infrastructure, investing into that. He was talking about being energy independent. And one part of the speech I really enjoyed was when he was talking about not wanting to be basically the police of the world, the law enforcement officers of the world, and wanting to end all these foreign wars. Okay, that's kind of a Tulsi Gabbard thing. Again, some things that some on the left are talking about, but you know, the left, I'm not sure if they really were clapping for that or not. Maybe they clap for that. They should, because I don't think anybody wants war. I think we all want to have less foreign intervention. So I thought that was a really good point in the speech. There were quite a few things he said here. He was talking about Space Force. That was good. He was talking about he wants us to be the first country to plant a flag on Mars. You know, that's a lofty goal right there, but it could be done. We're sending these little drones and whatnot, these Land Rovers to Mars. We could possibly go over there to Mars. Who knows? He hit on the economy, education, security of the nation, healthcare, a lot of different things. Sanctuary cities, it was funny because he had kind of a slip of the tongue, called them sanctuary cities, but I'll move on. The guests here at the speech were the highlight of the show for me. You had Juan Guaido, who is seen by some as the real president of Venezuela, although the actual president is still Nicolas Maduro, unfortunately for the Venezuelan people. He was at the State of the Union address. It was a surprise to me. I streamed this live. You could kind of see my reaction. I was like, wow, you got Juan Guaido. That was a good moment. Also, another moment was when you had this young man by the name of Ian Lanphier. Hopefully I didn't butcher your name, boss. But Trump was saying that he wants to be part of Space Force and he wants to be up in the sky looking down on Earth. So I thought that was fantastic. Then he introduced Ian's great-grandfather, who was a Tuskegee Airman. He is 100 years old right now. I thought that was excellent, fantastic, one of the best moments to see, you know, the lineage. You coming from being Tuskegee Airmen, you know, fighting in wars and whatnot, to your great-grandson wants to be in a Space Force going above. So it's about that constant progression and passing the family lineage down and, you know, father to son, great-grandfather to son. I thought that was fantastic. Also, you had my man, Tony Rankins. Now, Tony Rankins was a U.S. or is a U.S. Army veteran. He had fought over in Afghanistan, and he came back. He had PTSD. He fell on hard times, got hooked on drugs, in and out of jail. And then there was a program that he got into that taught him about some basic skills, carpentry and stuff like that. And he's been able to turn his life around, get off of drugs, and get back reunited with his family. I thought that was a great thing to see a man that served in the military, a veteran, and fell on hard times, was able to get lifted out of that. You see homeless veterans all the time. It's good to see that there are certain people out there and companies out there that actually care about these individuals and want to see them get back on the right track. So that was a success story right there. Also, probably the best moment for me was when Rush Limbaugh got presented with the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Now, shout out to Rush Limbaugh. Unfortunately, he has stage 4 lung cancer. He announced that like a couple days ago on the radio. Very sad. So my prayers out to Rush Limbaugh, his family, loved ones, everybody. Prayers out to him. But it was a rumor that he was going to get the Medal of Freedom before the event. I just did not know that it was going to be at the event. Okay. And you can kind of see his face when he got it. He's kind of surprised. You know, people like AOC are mocking him, talking about always pretending to be surprised. I mean, I don't think anybody really knew that he was going to get that right then and there. Even if he did, Rush Limbaugh is actually deaf. So he might not really understand everything that's going on as far as, you know, audibly. But we'll move on. This was an excellent moment, and Rush Limbaugh most certainly deserved it. Absolutely deserved it. People talking about, oh, he's racist. What makes him racist? Because he's conservative. You know, Rush Limbaugh is one of the guys that helped me get away from the left and go over to the right. You know, people always tell me things like, oh, Rush Limbaugh's racist. Don't listen to Rush Limbaugh. And I just bought into it without listening to him for myself. Then one day I just listened to him and I'm like, hey, what he's saying is making sense. These things just, you know, it does not seem like he's racist to me. I don't see the racism here. This is just what should be common sense. But some people are not going to want to take that because they want you to believe whatever they want you to believe, but I digress. This was a fantastic moment. God bless Rush Limbaugh. This was fantastic. Then there was Taniya Davis and her mother. I think they're from Philadelphia. She is about 8 or 9 years old in the 4th grade, and they had been trying for a long time to get into a better school. Her mom, single, working, not a whole lot of money. They've been trying to get to a better school, but I think the governor of Pennsylvania had blocked school choice for some reason, so they were not able to do that. But then President Trump announced that an opportunity zone, I think it might have been a scholarship, had just become available, and he gave that to Taniya. So now she's able to go wherever she wants to go thanks to that particular scholarship from the opportunity zones. That was a fantastic moment. Also, the military family got reunited. This was, you know, it was a lot of moments here that were kind of like, you might get like a little Indian tear in your eye. The man's name is Townsend Williams. President Trump first was talking about his family. It was his wife and 2 kids, little kids. I think it might have been the baby and like a 3 or 4-year-old. He's talking about sacrifices that the military service members make, not only those that are actually deployed, but those that are at home, their families, how they got to take up the slack for what is not present in the home while their significant other is overseas fighting for us. And then he broke them out, came out there, got reunited. It was a wonderful moment to see right there at the State of the Union. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Then there was a man by the name of Jody Jones from California whose brother had been shot and killed by an illegal alien. This just goes to show that sanctuary cities, things like this, just don't work at all. You know, they're harboring criminals, and they're pretty much allowed to run amok and do whatever they want to do. Of course, the left, they don't want to clap for that because they think that Trump is being racist by saying that sanctuary cities aren't safe for anybody. American citizens mostly, but not even the illegal aliens is it safe for. Okay, so people talking about, oh, we got to protect the undocumented. How you going to do that when you're not allowing these criminals, people that got all kind of crazy rap sheets, to stay in these areas among those you think are just regular, everyday good people? It doesn't make any sense, but I'll move on. Overall, this was a great speech. Like I said, the highlight of the speech for me was the guests that were brought out. Trump had a great tone, very, I guess you would call it presidential. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like I said, it was bipartisan. It wasn't this thing about trying to attack the left, although the left made it into that as far as attacking the right with their pseudo clan robes and not clapping and stank faces and talking. And also Pelosi was like going through the speech. Like at the end of the speech, she ripped it up. That was like her whole thing. She probably had that plan from the beginning, but she ripped it up at the end. But throughout the speech, she's trying to talk to Pence and is going through the papers, shuffling. It's like, what are you reading? Are you going through your bingo cards? Are you doing your taxes? What's really going on? It was a mess, but that is not going to make a difference. We on the right, as American people in general, we're going forward. If you are not trying to go forward, then it is what it is. You're going to stay right where you are. And today, which is Wednesday, February 5th, 2020, will be acquittal day. So just like Pelosi tore up those papers, Trump will tear up the articles of impeachment, and we'll go forward as a nation doing the right thing for all American citizens. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Did you enjoy the State of the Union address? If so, what part of it was the best for you? Was it particular points that the president was making about the economy, about being energy independent, about security of the nation, about not wanting to be the world police? What was your favorite moment? If you did not enjoy the State of the Union address, my question to you would be why? What was a part that really kind of rubbed you the wrong way? Whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.